Tony Archer's the man. Tony's got the whistle to start. There's the man in his pocket, Ashley Klein. St George Illawarra $1.60, TAB Sports Bet. Bulldogs $2.30. Kick-off time, Heritage round underway. Sunday we go back to the cricket ground for Souths up against the Tigers as Justin Paul brings it back on tackle one, and he'll play the ball down at the northern end of Win Jubilee, now for Michael Waitman. And they're just outside the 20 on the second tackle with David Stagg playing a part in it. There's Neville Costigan to the 30-metre line. 1 of 8 former Broncos. 9 if you include Wayne Bennett. 9 former Bronco personalities involved in this game tonight on both sides of the halfway line and in the grandstand. South's kick. Well, Luke Patton was heading over there and he had to put the brakes on. Full reverse throttle for Patton. And the general has tackled 15 away from his line down the south.
And a fine start again for Jamie Soward. Kicked the ball 50 metres and somehow found open space between the fullback and the winger.
Hasm has to play the ball. And then away for a simple power play by Hodgson. There's a few cross-pollinations, if I can use that expression. I mentioned Brisbane. A couple of Parramatta players involved in this game. Couple playing for Canterbury that were with St George. There's Eastwood shoving it down. Ennis got an ankle tap from Michael Waitman. He was lying there like a worm and blue and white socks went past him, so he put a hand out and brought him to ground. The sneaky little Michael Ennis. Now Wendell back and away from his 30-metre line to be tackled inside the Dragons' red line on the western side of our ground here at Jubilee tonight. And the 11 taking it ahead is Matty Pryor, one of the finds of the season. He plays it now for Dean Young. Then it goes on to Hornby, running across the ground, looking for Ben Craig, who has signed that contract for a further 4 years with the Dragons. And why wouldn't you? He's an outstanding product and potential. Wayman again. 35 out now from Canterbury's line. Money galore for Canterbury in betting with Tab Sports Bet at the $2.30. Top of the table, Canterbury, starting outsiders to number 2 on the table, the Dragons, and Soward then goes hard. Wind is, there's hardly any of it here. Leaving my home in the northwest, it was blowing a gale out there, but it's quite settled here towards the coast near Botany Bay. And this is Idris, and he is held and put away just inside 20. Held by Soward, in fact, and also by Wayman. And now the Dogs decide to go wide quickly, and it's gone over to Millard. And he'll play the ball after his captain gave the final pass, Andrew Ryan. And players now with Hodgson 35 metres away from the blue and white line as Ryan goes ahead. He just angles it away from the 20-metre line in from the western sideline. And then on the 5th tackle has gone onto the boot for a sort of a chip kick from Kamali. And it'll favour Boyd, and Boyd then runs away from former teammate Ben Hammond, and he will play the ball 35 metres off his own try line. Now it's Brett Morris crossing the 40, and in the tackle he had his momentum increased and he went towards halfway, and there's the penalty. Archer is penalising Brett Kamali there.
They're saying Brett Kamali had to go to the side. And that is a pet penalty early in this season. You can't harbour bridge or go over the top of the tackle player. He didn't go enough to the side for the referee's liking. First penalty of the night. Flags touch 25 out from the Dogs line.
Friday night football on 9. And live from Jubilee, the first game. 20 metres away now. Right in the centre of the park. And the Dragons go ahead from Hornby. He got a good decoy. Boyd away. Cooper on. And played just inside the 10-metre line. Tackler was Idris. Good work by him. The youthful centre. Now it's Dean Young turning it in for Michael Waitman. And Waitman is shrouded by 3 of the Dogs originally. Now the last man up is Hannant. Dean Young has a look. Gets a decoy from Costigan. 2 sets of hands. Finding Soward. And Soward will play it outside the 10-metre line. 25 metres away from our broadcast side, the western side. Now it's on for Hornby, a neat pass for Craig. And Ben Cray is tackled 2 metres away on 5. So what are they going to do? Are they going for a kick across the ground? Hornby, he had nothing but a surrounding of what the hell are we doing? That's the way it looked to me anyway. And it's a turnover, the back end of a 6 that, well, it was put to bed miserably, really. This is Roberts.
It was great work from the defence. They singled out both the kickers. They went to Jamie Soward, put him out of play. And Ben Hornby, the option kicker, they put pressure on him as well.
Play by Miller. This is Goodwin. Bryson Goodwin. And now the Dragons coming up with a mistake, but there's been a ruling of ball going forward from Ashley Klein. And he will pack a scrum. He'll give the Dragons, looking at that arm, he'll give them the feed. They'll have the loose head. They'll have a good chance.
Well, that's an anticlimax, isn't it? The crowd were on their feet. The locals thought they were in under the post. Here goes Bryson Goodwin. Drop ball. The ball hits the ground. Pick it up. Play on. I can only assume the ball comes off Wayman there. And he rules he played at it. Maybe he knocked it on with his torso, Rabbits.
Well, don't take us there, please, Phil. Please, let's not go back to the torso.
Oh, nearly one against the head there. Ben Roberts was away.
It looked like his torso.
The ball came off the Canterbury player into contact with an opposing player who in turn knocked it on, according to the referee, even though he only knocked it on with his torso. So to the 20-metre line now. It's with Costigan. Costigan is tackled inside the 10-metre zone. Another chance for the Dragons, and that's Ennis's favourite play. He rakes at the arm, carrying the ball.
In today's football, the dummy half likes to get out and try and engage the markers, buy a little bit of time to bring his players onto the ball. And this has become the latest habit in marker play, to get around and knock the arm down and try and unsettle the play. I'm thinking this is a Dragons feed.
It is. Soward working the scrum through a nice tunnel. Now it's gone from Hornby and it's back to Cooper. Cooper looks at Al Masri, and Al Masri takes the challenge and puts Cooper down. Plays the ball 5 metres out from the line. Morris onto Hornby. Now it's with Cray, and Cray looking to put a backhander out there. I thought better about it. 10 metres out now. Dean Young goes across. He goes back and finds Soward. He goes out and it's found Boyd. And Boyd is tackled. And again, good defence by the Bulldogs from Roberts. Played and spun by Scott and gone to Soward. Now it's away to Justin Paul. And he will play the ball right in front of the uprights, down the school end of the ground. Played for Young. Young floats it to Hornby. He cuts out one and finds Cooper and Idris again. Bootlace tackle from the Young centre. Brett Morris's pass finds Hornby. Soward puts a kicker. They're looking more and more frustrated, the Dragons, and to ground. It's all over the place. And Klein wants a look at it, probably to find out where he wants to start it from. I don't think there's any thought of a try.
No, Wendell Saylor had a good play on that one. May well be the big man on screen that comes up with the first infringement. But if they've survived here, the Bulldogs, it is round one to them in this 15-round championship fight. Magnificent defence. They've been camped down here, the Dragons, with Saylor flying high. I think he's the first man to knock on. Darryl Millard scoops on the football. Pryor dives for it. The main ruling here will be whether Saylor has propelled this ball forward.
Well, even if Saylor touches it, it's gone backwards, hasn't it? I see everything as knocked back at the moment until Pryor makes a play at the ball there and knocks it on. So I'm anticipating a 20-metre tap to the Bulldogs, although Bryson Goodwin, I guess, knocked it on from his in goal. We might be a line drop out to the Bulldogs, I would say.
The Dragons are set out in formation to receive a line drop out.
Yeah, Bryson Goodwin has knocked that ball on. If it came off Saylor, it went back. Then it's knocked on again. We get no try.
But whatever the result, a foundation laid already by the Bulldogs, as long as they haven't used up too much petrol. Some great online defence. You mentioned Idris on a couple of occasions. Getting off their line, defending it. Be interesting to see in a little while the amount of shots that the Dragons have had inside the opposition 20.
Just looking at these replays, it reminds me of the '85 grand final between these two sides. Steve Mortimer was bombing away at the Dragons fullback Glenn Burgess from memory. And it was that match in '85 that saw a rule change, where a ball marked on the full, in fact, is returned to the 20-metre line for the restart. In that match, it was line dropout. That doesn't apply here, I'm not saying that, but in '85, that was quite an historic grand final because it brought about a rule change.
Well, they've ruled a line dropout here, and by the signal from the referee Klein, it was because Luke Patton forced the ball, so it was alive right up until that time.
They're good judges, the players, but they've been sent out there for 5 minutes. They knew what was happening.
And the dropout taken by Wendell Saylor. And with that lengthy delay, it was just a reminder of where we were before two referees. I understand we still need a video referee, but the game, I'm sure, and I know they've been copping a bit of flack, the two referees, I think, have speeded the game up, and we've had less interference from video referees. That seemed to be a pregnant pause, wasn't it? Here's Ben Cray playing the ball 15 out from the line. Now it's with Hornby, and he goes short for Costigan. He's playing good football this year. 10 metres out from the Dogs line. It's been all Dragons as far as territory and possession. Salad, Young, Boyd on to Scott. And Scott is able to flick it back. Wendell put a bat on it, went back off him, so it's play on. In fact, 6 more, because the referee felt that Goodwin got a touch on it. So 15 away to Salad, to Wayman, and Wayman is taken down by Hammond. A couple of good prop forwards there. Played by Wayman. Now they go over. Hornby got an awful pass. Held by Kamali. They keep going left, and it's gone away to Boyd. He heard a call from Cooper, gave it to Cooper. He's able to stand and unload. Back from Young, gone to Hornby. Hornby in traffic, and again the Dogs hold them out. 3 gone. So here come the Dragons again. Salad stops, props. Ennis makes the tackle. The ball is back with Darius Boyd. He gets a pass away. Bo Scott says, I'll have a go. Looks for an opening, but there are no openings. The Dogs have got the kennel door closed firmly at the moment. Young gets it away. Pryor is with the ball. And Pryor backing, looking for the line, and now they start to force him back. So they've held him for 5 again now. Dean Young, a barge over attempt. I think he might be held up. He is. Brilliant work by the Dogs. David Stagg underneath there, holding it up.
Aren't they good, the modern day players, in saving tries by holding players up? He really surged there, Dean Young. I thought for a moment he caught the defence napping. It was tackle 5, really drove in hard.
Yeah, Millard and Stagg combining there. That's out of this world defence.
There's Greg Eastwood.
They just look a little bit too deep and slow for me, the Dragons, with their ball movement for a Bulldogs defence. The Bulldogs are getting up quickly and bustling them. Probably need to play a little flatter, a little bit more on the advantage line, just to stop the Dogs coming up and getting amongst them as they are. If they play deep and slow, the Bulldogs defence will accommodate them all night.
So no score after 11.5 minutes, but did you see that percentage of time in possession? For the Dragons, it was 73%. Here is the try-scoring wizard. Morris, he steps clear. Salad's with him. Salad's inside 40. Patton's giving chase. Ankle-tapping tackle on Salad. Ball goes to Canterbury.
That is brilliant. Wow, what a tackle.
Idris is with it for the Dogs.
And Jamie Soward is hurt. He hit the ground so heavily. Luke Patton knocks the legs together, bangs, knocks himself out on the ball, I reckon. Bang, oh, that's one over the top.
This is Hammond. Salad is ushered back into the defensive line. They run one at him, there it is. Millard ran it at him, but Salad answered the call and gingerly gets back into the defence line. Roberts puts a kick in. Down the corridor on the western side for the number 1, Boyd, to go running away with it. Held just outside 20 before unloading for Cooper.
keeping the ball alive. Upon making a break, they could not have wished for two better men to be in position. Brett Morris made the bust. The support player, another speedster in Jamie Soward. It's an amazing effort from Luke Patton. Might have passed the football a half a step too early, Brett Morris, but not many people have run down Jamie Soward from behind. Wayman now, another touch up the middle, heavily involved.
Ben Hannon has got a real problem in back play after attempting the tackle on Wayman. The Dragons now coming to the 30-metre line. Strong run by Pryor. Kick by Soward. High and towards the upright. Straight to Luke Patton. He didn't have a contest on his hands. Ben Cray looked at him and then let him run. I think Cray might have been offside, actually.
Hannett coming off the field, Ray, carrying that right arm.
El Masri with the ball on the 20-metre line. And there is Ben Hannon coming from the field. He's held in high regard amongst our front row forwards. He's one of the Bulldogs' most recent recruits. Well, Ennis's pass to Ryan was a metre forward and has been called as such.
Yeah, can't afford that after all the defence they've had to do. And they're actually looking up around the neck area of Ben Hannett. Take long in getting him off. We're concerned Kevin Moore and support staff looking on. Jim Dimmick to his right. He probably needed to go one more step just to completely commit Luke Patton. But it's a great effort. Idris was coming from the left. He was the other chance of coming up with the tackle. And then just blatantly forward from dummy half from the Dogs' number 9, Ennis.
Scrum run by the Dragons then, and they go quickly across to Cooper, who's had quite a battle over there with El Masri. Masri channeling in from his wing and has been confronted by Cooper challenging an attack.
Yeah, from scrums, Ray, they've got El Masri playing one in and Luke Patton slotting out onto that right wing.
So 20 metres away from the line now. Again, we find the Dragons asking questions of the Bulldogs. Young onto Hornby. Hornby onto Soward. Soward in for Boyd. Boyd to the 10. And he is held there by Roberts over the top of his captain, Ryan. Young goes to a stacked blindside. Soward turns it in for Wendell. And Saylor will play the ball. The line, as you can see, just a metre in front of them. Can the Dragons make it this time? Hornby has let two decoys go. From a standing start tries to do it himself. I've got a feeling it all went wrong though. Played back for Young, now for Wayman, and Wayman is able to offload and Pryor is there. Roberts is with him and he'll be forced to play the ball. But how many tackles have they withstood? Not just inside the 20 but inside the 10.
Chance if they run it to the left.
So they've gone there now, Peter. It's gone to Soward. He stabs a little kick up and Idris flies above them. He's taken in mid-air. Penalty against Cooper.
Well, this is nearly such a bad one that Cooper could get sent in, or at least on report for this. This is a bad one. When you know you cannot mid-air tackle, this is as bad as it gets.
Well, this is the very reason that they've outlawed tackling the man.
That is as bad as it gets. And I love Matty Cooper as a player, but he's in the wrong there. When you know the rule and you know the reason behind the rule, that's exactly why it was put there. And that's a very heavy fall for Jamal Idris. And Matt Cooper will be hoping that he's okay.
Really was a great opportunity for the Dragons to run the football on the last. There was little defence on that side. This is a godsend for the Dogs who need the football and they need some time to get some oxygen in the lungs because it's been defence upon defence upon defence.
They love it, Peter. They actually love it. They're one team that loves the defence.
Am I reading that right, that statistic, Pete?
70-30 possession in a game.
Inside the 20.
Inside 25 nil.
Okay. So I'm not so sure that the sin bin is the place for incidents like what you just saw with Cooper. Maybe on report. And it may be that the sin bin should be used for those sort of things, but that's something for another day, for another discussion, as Eastwood is held just outside the 40-metre line. Hey, Bulldogs, that's the Dragons' territory down there. Here's Patton losing the ball. He won't be there for long if they keep doing that. It's with Cooper again. The villain of the moment. Now for Wayman. Wayman, well, you've heard me say it 100 times, and I've been supported by the Sterlings and the Goulds. He really has been a revelation this year. Here is Pryor. 40-metre line. We'll get a report from Timmy Gilbert on the sideline shortly about Ben Hannon. And that's the halfway line you're looking at with Dean Young. Then from Costigan across for Justin Paul. The other prop from the Dragons who can't be far out of the minds of the Blues selectors. Now they're on the 40-metre line. This is one of the players that didn't play last weekend, Bo Scott. He and Ben Cray missed that match in Townsville. A couple of important parts of the personnel missing from the Townsville loss. One of only 3 for the season for the Dragons, and they haven't been beaten by 6 points or more. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Friday Night Football continues in a moment. So a welcome to our networks taking us overseas. This is our Heritage Round commencement, bringing together some of the old foes. Souths and of course the Tigers. If you classify the Tigers rather than West Tigers, then it's a match between 2 of the foundation clubs. Back live at Win Jubilee. Down here on the Prince's Highway in Sydney, looking out over Botany Bay. The Bulldogs bring it away with Chris Armand, and it's outside the 20-metre line. He plays the ball now for Ennis to go into Stagg. It's in loose ground and swooped upon by Young, given to Hornby. But immediately this defence for Canterbury, they respond through El Masri and Kamali. Now it's gone from Paul, gone to Wayman. And Wayman reversing to the 10-metre line. In what was a 3-man tackle. Warburton is on as well for the Dogs. Soward with an in-ball for Scott. And he's met by Michael Ennis.
If the Dragons don't score here, they're going to need counselling at half-time. They're going to have to put them on a couch and psychoanalyse because they'll just be shattered.
Costigan, a quick ball away for Young. He sprinted to Hornby. Hornby under Ben Cray.
Great tackle, Kamali. 1-on-1. Big man.
Just a metre out again. And Wayman says, I can do it, I can do it. He lunges. And Tony Archer.
This will be the last one, just checking grounding.
Tony Archer was right on top of it, Peter.
And I had a look at the crowd that had a very good view of this, and they have gone up as one. Now, they do have red and white jerseys on, the majority of them over in that part of the crowd, but he gets very close and gets the football down. They have finally crashed their way across through Michael Wayman, and that is his 12th hit up.
Cancel, councillors, please. Cancel the halftime councillors, please.
Ah, they needed that. They needed that. It is terrible when you're down there attacking for so long, getting so close and come away empty time and time again. Good run by Cray. And big Michael Wayman, the big front rower, huffing and puffing up there on the advantage line. Gets it, bump, swivel, turn, and he gets it down. And there's no more shock man in the world than the man who scored the try himself.
I'll tell you one thing about Michael Wayman. He's got a high work rate this season especially, but he's very mobile and quite agile for a big man as well. He's quite deceptive in that department. That was almost from a standing start. And Gus, I know the Bulldogs like the defensive aspect of the game, but 5 from 9 completion rate up against 11 from 12. You think it's going to tell at some stage of the game if that continues.
Wayman's had an involvement 20 times in the game. His next rival in the forwards, Paul, with an involvement of 15. That'll give you some indication. Here's Soward, and he converts the try scored by Michael Wayman. Timmy Gilbert on the sideline after 20 minutes of football.
Did we just see one of the New South Wales front rowers score a try there for the St George Illawarra Dragons? Of course, Mick Wayman at this place has been absolutely outstanding. Good news for the Bulldogs as we watch it try again. Ben Hannett, we've checked with their medical staff. That was a burner to the right shoulder. He'll be back. No doubt Mal Meninga happy with that as well.
Yeah, shot of Hannett. He's doing a bit of warm-up or warm-down, as it's probably better referred to. Greg Eastwood doing the same.
Michael Wayman was 40-1 to score the first try in this game, the big front row at TAB Sportsbet. I couldn't have taken 200-1, but 40-1, and if you're backed in, you've got the chocolates.
Justin Poore plays the ball. Dean Young spreads it. Costigan runs it. And he runs into 3 Bulldogs tacklers, and then it's Young again. He wouldn't be Australian in any rep side, Dean Young. He's busy, he's tough, he's versatile. They're not bad points to have on your resume. This is Goodwin playing against a club that Teddy represented with tremendous distinction. This is Idris. He's been good, hasn't he? Jamal, and thankfully he came out of that illegal tackle from Matt Cooper. Okay. So Ennis says, let's go to Idris. He's gone right through. Jamal's on his way with Wonderbeat, and Boyd has got him one-on-one. Played by Idris on the 20-metre line. Here's Kamali going across, and then throwing it back into no man's land. It's played there, well, will be played. It looked like he was trying to play it, then it looked like he might have been trying to move off the mark.
No, he wasn't tackled. Bo Scott was trying to get a one-on-one strip on him as Brett Kamali bombs centre field. Boyd in good position, takes it comfortably.
Boyd did take it comfortably. I did notice Matt Cooper though running shotgun for him, and he's injured his shoulder by the look of it, Darius.
He got hit hard. He got hit very hard by the 11, Gary Warburton. He lands okay, and bang. Well, I'm not so sure that's high. The crowd's oohed and ahed and tried to influence the ref. He lands, bang, he crouches. Good shot.
It's a great shot.
Puts him down. Please, no penalty, please.
Darius Boyd, a heavy workload for him. His 3rd game in 7 days. Was in doubt for the test. He played. Lasted an hour last week against the Cowboys. And he's up playing the football now. A good sign. Poore takes it forward.
No penalty, Rebs. That's a better sign, isn't it?
Well, it was only the crowd calling for the penalty. I mean, your attention straight away focused on the bloke with the whistle being refereed by the crowd. You had no basis in this game to start that kind of a challenge. So here's Soward taking the kick for line. At 6-0 in favour of the Dragons. And for 20 minutes, you might say, they bombarded the Bulldogs line. And this is Justin Poore, almost to halfway. Playing it for Dean Young. Costigan's working a lot off the ball, and it's not going unnoticed, I hope, with those that keep statistics. Here's Pryor who plays it. And Young a dummy before going back to Costigan. He'll play the ball just outside 30. He was tackled there by Hodgson. Now it's with Hornby. Big run by Cray as a dummy runner. Now it's come from Boyd, flicking out the back for Hornby to come back to the cross. And Ennis puts him away with Ryan. Then Young. Now Soward. Soward in. Scott with it. And Bo Scott to play the ball, and he gets a penalty.
Everyone was offside on this left side.
Everybody was offside, so he's playing an advantage. Was Ashley Klein.
Be very, very interesting, the decision here. They have had 28 play the balls inside the opposition 20, the Dragons, and come up with one lonely try to a barging front rower. Now with the opportunity to have 6 more, they've decided we'll kick for goal. That is the ultimate respect for the Bulldogs' defence.
It's just brought about a change in betting as well. I just had the fluctuation come through before the kick, actually. The Dragons at 6-0, in from $1.30 to $1.22, and the Dogs out to $4. That's from TAB Sportsbet. Betting in running, you can do that. Do it responsibly. Michael Hodgson coming off.
Yes, Ben Hannett going back into the action, and the try scorer Michael Wayman has come from the field after a mighty effort. And Dan Hunt in 14 on for the Dragons as Jamie Soward looking to make it 2 from 2 for this evening.
So 6-0 in favour of the Dragons. over towards what I think is called the Legends areas over there, adjacent to the old scoreboard, down in the northeastern corner. Here's Jamie, looking for 8-0. Flags are up. That's the score. Here's a break. Michael Wayman. 68% plays 32% at the moment. Funnily enough, I think Kevin Moore would be quite happy. Back for the 20. And as you come back live, we welcome you back to Friday Night Football on 9. Coming out of Win Jubilee tonight, Justin Paul playing the ball. Dragons the home side, leading 8-0. Twice they've played here at Jubilee since the St George and Illawarra merger in '99, and both times the Dogs have won. Here is Young going out, as dummy halves do, hoping to trap one of those markers, as Soward puts a kick up, and it's very, very high, and Saylor's gone through on his opposite number. Went over the top of him, and it was left then to Bo Scott to make the tackle.
As soon as that kick left Jamie Soward's boot and you saw it starting to swirl, you thought that is going to be put down. It was a tremendous take from Bryson Goodwin, diving backwards. Kept his head about him. Ben Roberts plays it in front of his own posts.
Randall's come back clutching at his left shin bone area. I'm just thinking we might keep an eye on him, Tim, on the sideline, as the ball is stolen from the Dogs. And the Dragons go back in familiar territory inside the 20.
Yeah, Cooper taking it out of Warburton's hands.
Here it is with Dan Hunt. He's almost had the shorts taken from him completely. He's exposing the whole, the undercarriage, you might say. Now here's Scott stepping through to 5 metres out. Held by Ryan. As it's played, and it's gone from Young, it's gone to Hornby. There's Ben Gray. Oh, the number 12. He steamed onto it, and he rushed over the try line, and he was almost at Kiama when they stopped him. What a run.
He's a weapon, isn't he? Got the match winner against the Warriors a couple of weeks ago. Former centre three-quarter, maintained great speed. Runs with great purpose. That's Warburton and Cooper grappling. Cooper coming up with the goods, and look how sparse they are on that edge, the defence. Crane runs a great hole straight into the gap, untouched. And to his side, next to the post, 4 should become 6. Great ball there from Hornby, shaped to pass long and hit short.
Yeah, played them right on the advantage line. All their players been very deep and very slow, but both tries have come to the short pass man on the advantage line, Wayman, and now Ben Cray, and he was pretty lucky there, Ben Cray. He was going to turn around and run towards the post and lost his footing, and it could have been very, very embarrassing had he been a little closer to the dead ball line, but he deserves that. What a mighty footballer he is. A great asset to the team.
When he saw the sign to Kiama, he realised he'd gone too far, actually. He put the brake on. He's a wonderful talent.
I think he is, Peter.
And injury-free this season. Doesn't that make a difference?
And if he stays that way, he's got to be in the New South Wales 17. Soward converts the try scored by Ben Cray. Dragons go out to a scoreline more befitting a team that's had 69% of possession. Tim Gilbert sideline.
Oh, Ramsey, so brilliantly mobile for a big guy, isn't he, Ben Cray? What a week for him. Just re-signed with the Dragons for 4 years. Here he is, goes straight through the hole. No wonder he's smiling. Put pen to paper and a blue jersey, well, as you mentioned, probably just a couple of weeks away.
He's already worn the colours of Australia back in 2005, something that people don't necessarily remember. He's studying a business degree at Wollongong University. Is Matty Pryor. Yes, Gus?
I'm saying the obvious here. I mean, we all know the Dragons are an improved team, but Wayne Bennett's effect is remarkable. I can remember a time where the Dragons, with so much possession and so few points, would have panicked their way into mistake after mistake. But this team is so resilient to error now. They're so miserly with the ball they give the opposition that they don't even look at the scoreboard. They just play and play, and they're becoming more and more and more like his old Broncos team. It's uncanny, the resemblance.
So the kick from Howard is pinpoint. Pinpoint. I think Peter described him a couple of times in recent weeks as the best in the business at the moment in this competition.
This is nearly 40-20, Roberts. This has gone over El Masri's head and found touch in the 20.
Is it inside the 40, the kick?
Well, he was looking for it. We're going to check his feet. They're going to have a look, I'd imagine.
He's asking the question.
Yeah. He's pretty confident he's inside the 40.
Oh, yes, he is.
Oh, yes. By a blade of grass. And inside the 20. No, it's a great kick. And I'm sure Hazem El Masri wasn't aware. He'd have made a play at that if he'd have known that he'd kicked that from inside the 40. Jamie Soward knew. He screamed at the referee, check it.
Well, at 14-0, the Dogs are still in this game, especially when the possession turns at 20-0. That might be a huge obstacle to be able to overcome as Soward steps inside centre field. Luke Prittis out there now for Paul.
So Prittis goes to Costigan, and Costigan is held by Ben Hannon. Warburton was in there, so was Ryan.
He's been terrific, Costigan.
Some time now it's gone to the left side for Hornby for Cray. And Cray has looked at the referee and said, I think I'm on the chalk. Was there double?
That's the question. He doesn't look that confident, Ben Cray. It was more a questioning look to the referee, and there's no great rejoicing. Well, he's kept the elbow up, carrying the football.
Wow, that's a hell of an effort.
Does any part of the arm touch the ground before the promotion?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
That's why he didn't look confident, did he? He was reaching, but he's just brushed the turf as he went through. At normal speed, well, you're not going to tell from that. At normal speed, you give him a try. In slow motion, you can see his arm brush the turf on the way through, and that may be the let-off the Bulldogs were looking for.
And I have little doubt that the momentum factor is not going to come into it here. It's no try. It'll be a penalty. No try. Penalty for double movement against Ben Cray.
Big test for the Bulldogs here. 14-0 the scoreline. They'll have to be saying to themselves, well, if the Dragons finish the game with 14 points, we're right in it. But they've got to start their climb back into the contest from now. They have hardly played the ball in the opposition half of the field.
It's a miserable look on the face. In fact, a painful look from Justin Poore back on the benches. 14-0 after 32 and a half minutes of Friday night football in one of the really traditional clashes. Is it any wonder as the Bulldogs get a penalty, is it any wonder that these two come together at the heritage round point of our competition?
I parked my car in the car park tonight, and Justin Poore parked his car alongside me, and he got out, and I looked at him, and I thought to myself, I couldn't tackle that. He's a big man.
Was parking next to him.
Well, he can walk me to the car after the game. I won't get in any trouble.
So Canterbury taking it ahead through Chris Armour. 37 metres away from the Dragons line. And though this scoreboard, and there's Hannon taking a smash from the 17, that's Mickey Payer who's on for the Dragons. Armour looks and goes in for Ennis, and that was neat back to Ryan. 14-0, it's a worry, but it's not a big worry. Here's Roberts when you look at the stats of possession, completions, and all of the things that really matter. Now Ryan, on to Kamali. Kamali goes to the right side of the ground, picks up Patton, spirals and was tackled 10 metres out from the line. That was by Cooper and Cray. Then it's Kamali, a grubbing kick through, and it's batted over by the Dragons by Hornby.
That is a very good end to that set of six. Brett Kamali ensuring that they keep the pressure on, and that's what they have failed to do all night. Just 8 completions from 13. That's their best of the night. And what a what a confidence builder it will be going into half-time if they can find themselves just 8 behind a team that has dominated them with the football.
So the dropout is not what you would call large by their standards today. And it's Hannah, tackle 35 out. Now it's Warburton. He's tackled 22 metres out. So on 2 plays, they've done well. Can the Bulldogs put points on the board? Before the break, that is. Played by Ahmed. Worked by Ennis. Probably overdid it. And now it's with Stagg. And David Stagg will play the ball. The hard-working back rower. Ennis now puts a little kick in. Kamali's after it. Hornby's got a shadow on it. And so has Brett Morris, so it's another good completion.
Ben Hornby was desperate for that ball to run dead. He gave it as long as he could. But a nice little period here of possession for the Dogs. They've got to turn it into points. They've still got 4.5 minutes before the break. There's the kick. Rolls along a little bit. Ended up, they've got to put it dead.
Let's go down to the sideline. Tim Gilbert, give us an injury update there, mate. There's a fairly heavy ward down there at the moment, I think.
Yeah, just the latest. Just a quick one on Justin Paul. The Docs had a quick look at that right shoulder. He is A-OK, and there he is on the bike. He'll be back.
You notice the Dragons wearing black armbands. I'll come back to that in a moment. It's in honour of Glenn Price, who died earlier this week. And I will come back and tell you a little bit about Glenn. There's a knock on by David Stagg, and this will see the scrum go down. So let me go back to that. The armbands for the Dragons is a mark of respect for Glenn Price, who died earlier this week. Price was the last surviving official of the club's golden reign through the 50s and 60s with Frank Facer and Tiger Black and those sort of people. He was a committee man, he was a treasurer and secretary of St George League Club from 54 to 77. He died last Monday at the age of 97. And I've got to tell you, when I was a much younger commentator, people like Glenn Price and Tiger Black and those sort of people made life a hell of a lot easier for a young bloke trying to get on in this industry. So to the Price family, my deepest sympathies. So here's Wendell Saylor with the ball now, just inside the 30-metre line. Played back for Soward, and it's gone to Beau Scott. And Scott will play he'll be penalised. We'll see. I don't agree with this. This is something I would change. You know, if a player obviously doesn't hear the call, and it can happen with big crowds, just send him back and do it again. Have you got a problem with that viewpoint of one?
I agree 100% with you there, Rabbits.
Oh, this is a red letter day. Here's the Dogs. Here's the Dogs with their captain. Played for Ennis. Now for Kamali. This is Hammond. If they can put points on the board before half-time, which is 2.5 away, it will be a tremendous boost to them. Here is Roberts working wide. Patton takes it and takes the tackle of Brett Morris. Played on the 10-metre line. Roberts goes away to the right side, and that is Millard over there now. He will play the ball for Michael Ennis again. He kicks across. Patton's after it. Will Patton make it? No, Boyd. The number 1 on the number 1. And Darius takes it over the dead ball again.
It was well read by the Dragons defence. It wasn't the last play, but they could see Luke Patton coming from way out in the middle of the field. Look, Luke Patton screams for it. In behind, they had plenty of coverage and got it dead. Boyd gets his hands to it, takes it out over the dead ball line. One more shot here for the Bulldogs before the break. They would kill for a try.
Line dropout was a lot better than the previous. And there have been a few, haven't there? From the Dragons, it's been a good passage for the Bulldogs. And here's Armit with the ball. They're out at big odds at the moment with TAB Sportsbet, and you just get the feeling this match is going to come back together again. This is David Stagg with the ball. 10 metres out, centre ground. Here's Kamali. He's going to score the number 7. Brett Kamali has scored for the Dogs. Kevin Moore and Canterbury have faith. They're on their way back against the adversities.
Yeah, and you Bulldogs supporters sitting at home, just wipe the brow there. Because you needed that, and you are right back in it. The little quarterback, Brett Kamali with a dummy. In the end, some soft defence from the Dragons. but he has scored them a vital try. Dummy, left foot step, the Keno replay, digs his way into the end goal, and the Bulldogs on their third visit in a row have come up with points. You would expect El Masri to convert, and at 14-6, they're nearly on giggling terms with themselves, given the way the first half has gone.
Tremendous effort by this team. Now, I think even the most ardent Dragon supporters say the same. The Dragons threw every piece of artillery they had at them, almost incessantly, for the first 20 minutes of this game before they cracked them. And that then seemed to continue until this last little passage of the first half, when they've been able to get it over the line. 17 completions from 20, the Dragons, 11 from 17, the Dogs. Dragons 61% possession. It's an incredible situation to be right in this match, as they are, the Dogs, and he converts, the little master. He converts. Hazem El Masri, the try scored by Brett Kamali. A couple of the elder statesmen have put the Dogs on the board. It's 14-6 from Win Jubilee at halftime. Stay with us coming up in Toyota halftime. So Ben Hornby starts the second half of what has been a highly entertaining game thus far in the Heritage Round weekend. El Masri plays 300 tonight. Only the 6th player ever to play 300 top-grade games with the same club. He became tonight the 13th player to go past the magical 300 barrier. This is Ryan who brings it away. Just outside the 30-metre line, play by Andrew, and now it's gone away from Michael Ennis back to Chris Arnott. And I don't know whether Chris was happy that he actually got the football, because he ran into Mickey Payer, and it was a real good tackle, stopped him dead in his tracks. This is Luke Patton, and that's the end of 5 tackles. Kamali, who puts a kick, rubbing along the ground, bouncing friendly. Darius Boyd goes back, and there he is again. One of the most elusive players in the game today.
He's playing such good football.
Dan Hunter's with the ball, high-stepping his way with a new pair of trousers. He plays the ball up near the halfway line. Luke Prittis has been out there for some time. Here's Craig, surging ahead to the 40-metre line. Dogs into the ground. Idris and Kamali, the tacklers, and here's Prittis with a dummy. Cooper with the ball over the top. Morris going down left side, steps off his left foot, able to get the ball away. Cooper was there. Cooper will supply. It does. It goes back to Prittis, and then it's gone across and away from Young and on to Soward. Soward is on to Pryor now. Then he gets it back for Dean Young on a runaround. He shows it to Boyd and gives the ball away. It's come from Bo Scott, gone back to Darius Boyd, and they're unable to put them on the ground. Boyd is away from the tackle by Ennis and eventually is down.
38 passes, they lost 2 metres.
Well done. That is called unnecessary exertion. Now it is with Saylor, who plays the ball 27 metres out from the Canterbury line. Here is the kick from Soward. It's gone high. Morris with a jump. Idris again above them. 10 metres out from the line. He comes down with it safely again. Now it's with Luke Patton.
The more they passed it, the further backwards they went.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
He's a pretty good foil, Jamal Idris, but the smaller Hazem El Masri, isn't he? Trying to get the kick out to him, and Jamal getting in between them. He's making those diffusion of bombs pretty simple.
So this looks like Millard, and it is 35 away from his own line, onto the left foot of Roberts, and a adroit kicker of the ball himself. And here's Wendell, and bringing it off his 20-metre line. The big fella is tackled just outside 30.
Did you say Dan Hunt had a new pair of trousers?
Oh, well, trousers.
Played 15 years and I never played in a pair of trousers.
Well, trousers, shorts. I mean, please don't be so pedantic. You're starting to sound like your co-commentator now.
I let it go. I didn't say anything.
No, that's a fair point. Morris will play the ball near the halfway. Here's the big fella running away from us. My God, it's a sight, isn't it?
Oh, he's just giving a face to somebody in the crowd as well.
Now it's from Priddis, and it's gone over there to Hornby. And it's now with Matt Pryor, and Pryor is held around the boots by Armit and over the top by Hannett. Priddis came away from a doubtful pickup. Now it's Young, gone on to Soward. Soward on to Scott, but plenty of footballers standing still and not running onto it. They basically overcrowded themselves. They had too many passengers on the bus over there. Now Soward, he puts a kick up. Didn't go for a lot of height. There's the bat down. It's come down successfully for Dan Hunt. Dean Young floats it away for Matt Cooper. Hands and ball didn't touch the ground. Bet Morris has said, I knocked off.
Well, the Bulldogs' defence is bustling. It's bustling. The Dragons are all over the shop, side to side, backwards, side to side. And the Bulldogs' defence keeps hanging in. This is fun. This is better fun. No fun during the week, better fun now.
Toyota Cup result, I'll get that for you, as Hannant comes outside the 40-metre line, falls short by a couple of metres of halfway, 44-22. The Dragons defeating the Bulldogs by 100%. Play by Idris. Here's Michael Amos, who might have fallen behind a little bit with Robbie Farah in the popularity stakes at the moment. Now it's on to Roberts, a show, and Millard steps off his left foot and tries to get through the Dragons' defence. Eastern side of the ground, jam-packed with supporters. And now Ennis puts a kick across, and it's come down to ground, and that looks like Dean Young diving upon it.
They came off the crossbar, didn't it?
I think it did. Now it's Darius Boyd. Beware, beware. He gave the pass. Here's Matt Cooper in absolute full flight. And then he was herded down and around the legs. Goes Goodwin. Here's Morris away. Penalty to the Dragons. 10 minutes in the bin.
Oh, big penalty. Big penalty.
Well, it's a bomb try.
It's a bomb try.
Despite the fact Brett Kamali's got 10 in the bin, Jamie Soward unmarked inside Matt Cooper. And obviously unmarked. He didn't just loom late. Shaking the head there from the number 7.
So the Dragons with a significant chance here. A match-winning chance, really. Now, here's Cooper picking up the rolling ball. Tackled by Idris and Warburton. Now it's gone from Boyd, then Young, then Hunt. Now Young, now Soward across the head. Down to Beau Scott. Scott is able to get a ball away. Pryor was there. Dummies to Sailor. Looks for him now. He's on the human chair heading for the sideline. Held is the call. Play by Pryor. Now it's on from Soward. It's with Young. It's with Payer. And Payer will play the ball. 7 metres away. 4 tackles gone. Dragons by 8. Priddis short. Hunter's with it. And Priddis hangs around, hoping for a little ball to come out the back. Here goes Priddis. He gets the ball away to Payer. And Payer is held and forced down. And that's turnover time.
And the Dragons, again, guilty of being too deep and the ball movement is too slow. It's okay to stand deep in attack, but when you get the ball, you've got to be moving. The problem with a lot of the Dragons' attack is they're deep and they're standing still when they get the ball. So they're giving up a lot of territory to the defence and they've got no momentum, the man with the ball.
Here's Ben Hannon. His hand up and running strongly into the arms of Pryor and Priddis. Here's Goodwin now, dancing his way around and picking up another 5 metres for the Bulldogs. And wrestled down as Roberts this time. Roberts playing the ball now. This is a penalty against Priddis, I fancy. Something happened off the ball, and one of the Bulldogs players wasn't at all impressed, and then I think it attracted the attention of the referee. Let me go down here.
For it. The bloke playing the ball. No, it's a bloke that's off the ball. He's nowhere near the ball.
Yeah, he's got a point. Ben Hornby has got a real point. There was a bit of cleanliness in the play of the ball, but at the end of the day, the Bulldog player lost it cold.
So Michael Ennis takes the tap. Hickey is on for the Bulldogs. Just inside the 30-metre line. Chance for the Dogs. The 19 is Daniel Holdsworth.
Oh yeah, a try here makes a big difference.
Ennis for Hickey. Ball being taken ahead the last 3 plays by freshmen. Big Hickey to play it now. Tackled by Beau Scott. Ennis goes out to Hannett. He flops it back to Ennis. His pass really lost them ground. Patton is with it. This is Warburton. Now it's gone to Idris. And Idris still struggling. He's over the line. Now does he get it down? Body language says yes, he did. And I'm talking about body language on try scorer and defender Dean Young.
I can tell you that Jamal Idris was just about back on halfway to play the ball. He was looking to steam onto the ball on the outside. He came back inside. He's lost the football. So it will be no try. But all the hard work to get in a try-scoring position was superb. A battering ram went over Beau Scott, went through Luke Prittis and Darius Boyd. And then I think some contact from maybe Dean Young coming across has helped the football out.
He's dropped it. It's such a shame because his run was so powerful and so defiant. He just virtually said to the defenders, get out of my way. He was so single-minded, full of intent, and spilled his lollies at the last hurdle.
No try. It doesn't come unexpectedly, but when Archer called for the video referee, I guess there was reason to have some concern, and here it is again, fully typified.
Look at this. Get out of my way. Get out of my way.
If that had been a try, that was a 12-point turnaround, because I still go back to the Dragons absolutely slaughtering a try only moments earlier. Well, a couple of big moments in this game, and we stay at the half-time score 10 minutes into the second half.
Hornby then probing. And he's come away with no football, and in fact he's going to put a scrum down. Is he? No, he's given the penalty. Ashley Klein giving the penalty to the Dragons. Dogs coming up with a hand on the ball and in fact raking.
I like these two referees. I was talking to Ashley Klein before the game. It's the first time he's worked with Tony Archer, and he was looking forward to the opportunity. Tony Archer, the #1 referee in Australia last year, and they make a good team. This has been a quality game and not many penalties to police it.
Costigan again with a worthwhile run. Centre ground, 30 out. Young back for Soward, in ball for Wayman, in ball for Costigan.
Shepherd.
But there's a Shepherd, and a penalty goes to the Dogs.
You can just feel there are certain things out here saying that the Bulldogs are going to be next to score. The Dragons are doing enough things wrong to give the Bulldogs a chance, and the Bulldogs, when they come down, you get the feeling they're going to crack them. Well, that wasn't part of the feeling, but they've survived it.
Well, he did a great job there. Jared Hickey got a short ball unexpectedly from Ben Roberts. And managed to catch it and get away as Andrew Ryan takes it 32 out, 12 men.
So Ryan and Canterbury heading down to the school end of the ground. Ben Hannard will play the ball 22 metres out from the line. Ennis to Holdsworth. Holdsworth goes back for Luke Patton, and Patton tries to spearhead the attack through the line. Dummy half Idris. It's gone to Daniel Holdsworth. The kick is straight at Wendell and easy.
Well, there was a 30-metre gap to Wendell Saylor. Daniel Holdsworth could have dropped it into that area. It was dangerous, but in the end, it was just a very simple task. Look at the gap.
Well, the idea there, you saw Bulldogs players running in under the posts, and that dragged the defence in. That was a tactic. But in the end, the kick chase on the outside and the kick didn't really do it justice. I think they might try that again. I like that.
Top of the table clash here at Win Jubilee. Canterbury, the Bulldogs, number 1. Dragons, number 2. Costigan, near enough to the man of the match in what we've seen so far. He's been really, really good. Hornby back for Boyd, a slamming tackle by Warburton, and players on the 40-metre line. Canterbury's into the ground, and it's a penalty. And this is the second time for the same penalty. What did you call it? Harbour bridging or something?
Yeah, something like that. Just coming over the top of the player in that kind of span.
Yeah, it used to be called the crocodile, but it's the Harbour Bridge now. The Dragons.
He was standing right over the top of him. He had the opportunity to walk away from it. Okay, and he didn't.
Right, yeah. The Dragons now have got to get a little bit flatter on the advantage line, and they've got to get the ball moving a bit quicker than they are. Too many players standing still when they get the ball. They've got to be coming onto it harder.
14-6 the score. Friday night football on 9. And the double-header of Heritage round this weekend with Dragons up against Canterbury as the opener. And Hornby floats it back. Boyd comes in. Morris responds, goes away from his line. And he'll play the ball, held by El Masri. Played for Cooper. Cooper now to Hornby. Hornby double pumps, holds it back, then Soward, now Pryor. And Pryor is taken by Roberts. 12 metres away from them. They go for a short side play to Bo Scott. Scott held in a stand-up tackle. Sailor, a dummy half. Young. Oh, Costigan's put it down. Well, I had to give him one more rap and I knew I'd get him.
But again, in those 3 tackles that they used in that set of 6, everyone who got the ball was virtually standing still or having no momentum whatsoever. And that's not going to trouble the Bulldog defence. The 2 tries they've scored have been short passes up on the advantage line with a man coming onto the ball. And they've been able to pull their way through the Bulldog defence. If they just stand back and pass it, Bulldogs will tackle them all night.
Well, they really haven't taken advantage, and it hasn't been noticeable that Brett Camorley's been off the field. He must be very close to coming back into the action.
This is Jared Hickey. Size doesn't matter to Costigan and Wayman. They've got a bit of size themselves, particularly Wayman. And this is Hannant under the tackle. Down the ground is going to bounce up for Darius Boyd from Ben Roberts. I made the point earlier that they've only played twice here since '99, and the Dogs have beaten St George Illawarra 2 from 2 here, defended by Sailor. But would you believe back in the period between 54 and 71, here's Brett Camorley coming back, Canterbury lost 12 consecutive matches here at Codral. It was more than just a fortress. It was a graveyard for Canterbury. Then, in those days, of course, they were called the Berries. Now it's with Costigan again.
Well, I think the Dragons were beating everyone in those days, man. They won 11 in a row.
And you know who ended that reign? Canterbury, led by former St George great Kevin Ryan when he was captain coach. The 11-year winning sequence ended when Ryan, in charge of Canterbury in those days, beat them in a preliminary final, 12-11. Now this is Goodwin, who comes back with the ball just inside 30, plays it for Camorley. Now here's a swiveling Luke Patton. Well, they got through the absence of Camorley with no addition to the scoreboard. That, for one, is good for them.
They were all offside there. Tony Archer played the advantage, but they were all in front of him. Look at this. They didn't even get anywhere near back. There's the referee 2 metres behind the defensive line. They never look. They're all offside. It's worth 3 penalties, that one.
TAB Sportsbet updated prices. St George $1.22. Dogs out from $3.40. You can have $4 now. The Bulldogs betting and running. Reminding you to bet responsibly. 20 metres out. Ennis has a look. Goes on to Eastwood. Eastwood is driven back by the front rowers. Poor and Wayman Now for Kamali and then back for Warburton. And a penalty goes to the Dogs. Ben Cray, high tackle.
Benny.
That was a lazy one.
Last 4 men against your side, mate. Fix it up.
That was a lazy one.
You don't go and talk when you get their discipline, mate.
I've been saying this for a few minutes, but this game smells like the Bulldogs are ready to score a try and bring us closer together.
So let's see if they can crack it this time. The Dragons starting to tire, and are the Dogs going to finish over the top of them? Lovely pass, Kamali to Roberts, and Ryan is with the ball. 5 metres away from the line, and Roberts comes away with a snappy pass to Kamali, and then back to Holdsworth, who's 5 metres out as play comes to back towards the centre of the ground. A lunge by Ben Hennett, the big fella's there. Put that down as a try. That's a try with no investigation, and he's clutching at his shoulder.
Yes, which was the shoulder that saw him leave the field early in this game. He's inflicted pain on the opposition, but also picked up some himself, but he's up. Surely has a maroon jersey. In the coming weeks, I wouldn't have been surprised if he came off the bench for Australia last Friday night. Slams it down, great run, and they are storming back the Dogs.
I was just going to say, I think the $4 is gone. Right now, though, we're talking to people in England and down through Europe, over in New Zealand. You couldn't have it anyway, but the $4 is gone. No matter where you live, London or Ebbw Vale, you've missed the $4. Welcome back to Jubilee. So many of their matches have been close. This is no exception. You have to feel. Al-Masri to convert, to take them up to 12. Bangs it over.
You can smell it. You can smell it coming for the last 10 or 15 minutes. The Dragons were fumbling the Bulldogs back into the game, and now these fellas here that led by 14 points to 0 look up at the scoreboard. They're 2 in front. They've had all the ball, all the running, and now they're in a war zone again. How will they handle it? Nervous times.
I know Brett Kamali and Michael Ennis have got plenty of raps this season, and rightly so. But there's been none better for the Bulldogs this year than Ben Hannant. He's just gone about that authoritative work up front. A lot of minutes, a lot of carries, great work rate. He's really developed into a fine front rower since going from Eastern, or the Roosters, up to Brisbane as a young man.
You can call them Eastern Suburbs this weekend, Pete. Here's Kamali. And now Michael Ennis, and just a quick snappy pass to his forward on the run. That was Greg Eastwood. Then Ennis is there to put a kick down the ground towards Saylor and towards Boyd. And Boyd brings it outside 10, points at Morris, says here, your ball. El-Masri takes him. Hannon is down there with El-Masri, and there's another. It's Warburton. From the 20, then Boyd sneaks away, picks up an easy 7.
Well, you start to wonder now whether the work rate that some of these players have had to endure in the last week or so is going to pay a price here. 5 players backed up last week. For some players, for the Dragons I'm talking about, 3 games in 7 days. Well, this is the first in 12 days for the Bulldogs. They've had a real freshen up in that time.
Wayman played it, and it's stabbed down the ground by Soward. Picked up by Goodwin. And Bryson comes back just beyond the 20. You reminded me then of Ron Casey, who worked with me for some time on football. He said, now we'll take you to Way Warren for the Wankawina Cup. I'll never forget that as long as I live.
Well, Ben Hannant has succumbed to that shoulder injury again, as has El-Masri. Gets a beautiful ball away to Kamali, who promotes it to Holdsworth. Michael Hodgson back on for Hannant.
Costigan the tackler, Ennis the runner. Ennis a show. Hornby pursuing. It's gone to ground. Edwards cleans up. Cooper's got him. on the halfway line in the Telstra Premiership side. Now for Michael Hodgson to the 40. Red line, Dragons End. And we're 15 in from touch western side. Kamali to the centre with one ball. And then it's Roberts who puts it down to Sailor. A juggle. In fact, he made a meal of it. Went backwards. Big fella recovered. Got back to 20. Now Nightingale is on. Gus's man is there. Jason Nightingale. Brett Morris slips. I shouldn't use that word. Slippery Morris. But he and Mortimer, they figured prominently in one of those grand finals. Slippery Morris and Steve Mortimer, they went gun for gun and shot for shot.
Gee, you're coming up with some names tonight. We've been to the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s.
It's a heritage round. I was asked to promote it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's called promotion of the game. I'm trying to do my best for David Geller. Here is Luke Patton with the ball.
And for those at home who don't realise, Steve Morris, who was nicknamed Slippery, a great player for St George in times gone, is the father of both Brett and Josh.
Thank you, Pete. So here is the high five. The Dragons have found Andrew Ryan putting one down. Timmy Gilbert down on the sideline.
Oh, this is rugby league nirvana, Rabs. Can you beat this? A packed suburban ground. And what about Wendell Sailor? He is the crowd favourite. Every time he even gets within 10 metres of the ball, the cheer is deafening. And if you want a bit more of Wendell, you can get him on the Sunday roast on Sunday.
Well done, Tim. Some of your best work
He's
there.
having a good time, Tim Gilbert.
How do you spell nirvana? You're going to have to go, Gilbert. You've got too many big words in the vocab.
He's always liked a bit of Kurt Cobain.
All right, so let's have a little bit more of that nirvana.
He's got the grungy look, hasn't he?
Here's Boyd, just inside 20. Then it's from Young, and it's gone on to Wayman, and Wayman tries to steamroll his way down the ground. He's like a big tow truck. And they're hanging off him there like an articulated vehicle. Here it is for Soward to go to Cray. And Benjamin is held. Got one. Had another one knocked back. Now for Cooper. Reefs it away. Torpedo pass across for Young. But Canterbury's defence, good. Per medium of Eastwood. Costigan, dummy half. Then Hornby. And now for Boyd, and Roberts came up out of the line quickly and snapped him down.
No.
So Dean Young reaches out and gets an awful pass. And then it's to Soward, who puts it through the hands, and it's gone to Cooper. He runs around Kamali. He puts it back to Cray. He gives it down to Soward. He goes outside edge kick off the uprights, taken by Roberts. Wow. Here's Goodwin. Driven into the ground. 8 changes made by the Dragons, 7 by the Dogs. And we're on the 10-metre line down Dogs' end of ground.
That was a bad set of 6 by the Dragons. Very disappointing set of 6. You're not going to get too many better opportunities to get a try in the last 15 minutes of this game.
Andrew Ryan. Now here's Roberts. Isn't he light on his feet? He's going to get a regather. Well, at least he gets a kick on it. But it's bounced up favourably to Wendell Sailor, working out in the covers there. And Wendell plays it for Jason Nightingale. Couldn't have got a better bounce, Wendell. But Roberts, he's lightning on his feet.
Roberts couldn't got a worse bounce.
Exactly. Hornby, Cray, flicks it out the back. Hornby he can get a ball away here. Well, he could have. He still can. He's got himself away. He's Houdini'd his way out of the tackle. And eventually, tackle by Idris. Here's Boyd, over 30, pushes off, stands, pushes off again. Idris has got him. I like him, Darius Boyd. He's a crowd pleaser. Now it's on for Justin Paul. Through. Patton's after him. They're not going to stop him. They try to put him down and over, but he's in. But no, hold the phone. Referee Archer says, I want to have a look, and the tackler is Ben Roberts.
No, the reaction from Justin Poor and his teammates. He's been superb tonight, Justin Poor. No wonder he is in demand from any number of clubs. He is a tough, uncompromising front rower who keeps coming back for more. He gets rid of a number of Bulldog defenders. And Ben Roberts does his best at the end, but he's failed to stop him from scoring. Gets the football down. And they've had a lot of football in great position. But Michael Wayman and Justin Poor have been the players that have been able to barge their way across from different distances to get on the board. Has he kept control of that football? I think he has.
That's a try. I told you, he parked next to me in the car park tonight. I looked at the size of him. I said, oh, how could you tackle that? Have a look at it. And he was with... I can't say.
It's a try. Dragons in again.
This is why they don't like it.
Jeez, I'm glad we went to a break. Who's about to drop the clanger of the year, you overseas viewers watching us? Anyway. Saved him again. Welcome back. Now the job gets so difficult.
Well, this is a huge kick, Ray, to get outside the converted try game, a half-time lead.
Bangs it over. We've got a couple of excellent kickers on duty tonight. The all-time great and young Jamie Soward, 20-12, 8 points in front, 12 to go.
The two front rowers have scored the try. Michael Wayman ran about 1.5 metres to score his, but big Justin Poor, he marches 35 metres up the field, bumps him off, fends him off, bumps him off again and slams it down, then gets smashed by his teammates who come in over the top. Here they come, you beauty.
5 players playing in their 3rd game in 7 days, and that includes the starting front rowers here tonight, both try scorers, Michael Wayman and Justin Poor. In fact, I was just looking at the double here for the on-ground patrons. I don't think they've put up number 10 as the first try scorer here to win the double for probably 25 years. Here is Dean Young. 5 metres from the halfway. Love taking the doubles. Now here is Darius Boyd, and he fends away from Kamali not once but a couple of times. There he goes. He's over there. Now they got him. He'll play it 42 away. Dean Young for Jamie Soward to kick. And he kicks that ball down so precisely behind El Masri into the corner. And El Masri seemed very intent on getting it out of that corner quickly, and that's why it went to Patton, who's tackled in the middle. This is Goodwin, and Bryson will play the ball back to Darryl Millard. And Millard comes back to his old teammates, Dean Young. Well, teammate Dean Young, certainly not Neville Costigan. And here is Daniel Holdsworth. He'll play the ball on the 30-metre line. He's been playing down in the weekend cup, New South Wales Cup, as Matty Cooper dives on a ball that now has been described as knocked on.
I've actually had a few inquiries from England, from coaches over there, inquiring after Daniel Holdsworth. They noticed he wasn't playing first grade, and those looking for a playmaker and a kicker were sort of scouring the lower grades over here, and his name kept coming up. So he's even though he's not playing first grade, he's under everyone's attention overseas anyway.
Fabulous crowd here at Jubilee, and I'm sure enjoying every moment of it. Of course, for you people overseas watching the game, they are neighbouring communities. They've been hostile sometimes, the battles between them. Local derby through and through. Millard is underneath that tackle. This ground tonight packed, standing room only really, as you look across to the Eastern Hill. Here's Ennis coming across to Kamali to go on, to Idris to step in, and he's been good tonight, Jamal Idris. So Ennis finds Kamali. Then it's on to Ben Roberts. Roberts goes on to Millard. Millard starts to straighten it up, and he'll play the ball 15 in from touch on that eastern side. Kamali puts the kick across. He'll be looking for Idris, and Idris is there! Idris snaps it up out of midair, puts the ball down. Jamal, that is a great try.
Well, he's starting to look and play more like Israel Folau every week. He's had no trouble defusing bombs, and now he's plucked one out of the air with time running out for his team. And he had work to do after he snared it. Got it on the chest, had to spin around with the attention of Brett Morris, and then over the shoulder, slams it on the line. Nice kick from Kamali, just in the field of play.
His aerial exhibition tonight has been, I can't say incredible, because we've seen it all before, and Peter's named the person we're all thinking about. So there's the try scorer, Idris, and Hazem El Masri with the kick at goal, and it was successful. So the Dogs, they're not going back to the kennel, not yet. 2018, and we've still got 8 to go.
No, they just won't go away. The Dragons cannot finish them off. They've led by 14, they've led by 8. You think they're in control. They've had enough ball to win 2 games, but the Dogs are hanging around.
So Canterbury bringing it away from their own line from the kickoff. And Greg Eastwood plays the ball. Roberts with a push and a shove, and he got some acceleration off the shove. After him is Soward. They're down inside 30. The Dogs are on fire again. 22 metres out from the Dragons line, played by Roberts. Holdsworth gets it away. Kamali goes back to where it came from to be tackled on the 20-metre line. So quickly did they come down here. Ennis puts a little kick over, and it's gone over the dead ball.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that play. He's in marvellous form, and he's only trying to win you the game. I can't question his enthusiasm there, but it probably wasn't the play. It was a bit adventurous and not such a great kick. And it just diffuses the situation a little bit for the Dragons.
Sunday afternoon, we'll televise for you the match from the Sydney Cricket Ground. The match between the Tigers and the Rabbitohs was part of the Heritage Weekend. Tigers v Rabbitohs. Sunday football, you see it at 4 o'clock. Benji and Robbie Farah and company. They've got a couple of centres out, the Tigers. It's a big chance for the Rabbitohs, and Michael Crocker will make his appearance in red and green on Sunday. Changes, both coaches have got 1 left. This is Dan Hunt. 40 metres away from the line. So Hornby to Soward, and he just plugs it down into El Masri's corner, and he comes back to be tackled just inside the 20-metre line. Justin Poor it was who tackled him. Ryan goes away and finds Millard. There's a problem for Ben Roberts in back play. He's down with a trainer on the 10-metre line. Now this is David Stagg losing some ground before offloading for Kamali, who was again picked up by Justin Poor and put down solidly. Ennis reefs it down towards Brett Morris. That can be dangerous, kicking it to him in open field. It's taken by Millard, and El Masri plays it quickly on the 40. Cooper will make halfway almost, held by Kamali and Hannon. 2-point ball game coming up to 5 minutes to go. Young finding Saylor. Wendell said, hey, you guys are getting tired, here I come.
And this is where we expected the game to be, isn't it? I mean, we came here tonight, no one really knowing which side would prevail. 2-point ball game, 5 minutes left on the clock. Who's mentally best prepared for this part of the game?
This is Hunt.
And the last change for the Dragons, Michael Wayman off, Matt Pryor out, last tackle. They'll look for Sauer to come up with a nice kick into the in-goal area.
Well, there's the kick you're talking about. It'll go dead. And well, it only just got across that line before it started to think about bouncing back the other way. Jamie Soward having a sensational year. Play by Luke Patton, and that's a run for Goodwin, and he'll play the ball just outside the 30-metre line. 20 plays 18. Dragons in front by 2, and Holdsworth is with it, and he's underneath the tackle of Dan Hunt. They're approaching the halfway. They're across the halfway. Kamali's gone to Eastwood. Eastwood to Ryan. Ryan to Eastwood. Eastwood goes back off his right foot. He's still trundling down the ground.
This is looking dangerous. This is looking dangerous.
30 metres away. Ennis. Here's Ben Hannant, and Hannant is tackled 15 metres out.
The Dragons are walking.
Last tackle.
Ennis on the last. Kamali, the kick off the outside edge, and Saylor will be grounded. Good defence, Idris, with help from Goodwin.
Great kick, Brett Kamali. Great kick, Brett Kamali. Didn't look for a try, looked for a restart of play. He can smell the Dragons are running on empty. The fuel gauge is flashing, and the Dogs, despite doing the lion's share of defence, are still coming, full of energy. This is a really fit football team. And you've just had this feeling all night. They won't go away, and they're here with a chance to win.
So it comes down to Patton, and he gives it straight back to Ben Hannant. And Hannant is upended just outside the 30-metre line with Justin Poore and Dean Young. Ryan with the run that ends 25 out. Cray was in the tackle with Hunt. Kamali again, in ball for Eastwood. And Eastwood will play it looking at the 10-metre line. They come open side. Ennis has a look, goes to Stagg, back to Patton. Hands it out the back. Ennis there, Kamali on. Idris out wide. And he's put to ground by 3 of the Dragons. So Idris with just outside 2 minutes to go. Played to Kamali, he comes across, he runs round Roberts, he fires a pass out, Andrew Ryan, it's gone to Daryl Millard, he beats Cooper, he goes back in field, ball to ground, Kamali scoops it up, play on, Luke Patton with the ball, gets it away, Michael Ennis to Ben Hannant, outside the 10, shows it and goes to ground.
Oh, how good is this?
He's got time to put it in the field, in the in-goal area if he wants another restart, but he's gone wide, and there's a chance.
Roberts a little dink, and it's taken by Soward. Soward just outside the try line. Minute and a half to go.
Oh, great attack, tremendous defence. Knock down, drag him out, fight till the final bell. Both sides giving it all.
This is Hunt. Slowly to his feet. Brett Morris. Hannant comes up and takes him to ground. Played for Dean Young. 9 on 9. Ennis makes the tackle. Boyd goes to dummy half. Soward snaps a kick away. Down to the eastern touchline area for Goodwin. So what have they got? They got 55 seconds of time. As Goodwin unloads, Patton sees a gap. Patton goes through the gap. He's away from Hunt. He comes to Boyd. He beats the fullback. He's given it to Idris. Jamal Idris. He will score the match-winning try with a full-time hooter. A matter of 20 seconds away.
You can smell it. You can smell it coming all second half. Is he awarded or are we going to a video? We're going to a video referee. Oh yeah, just to make it more dramatic. But you can smell it all second half. The Dogs would refuse to go away.
Well, a tremendous offload there, and Luke Patton. This is the offload. Goodwin struggling with two, finds Patton, who brushes through one. Now Jamie Soward is claiming that Greg Eastwood got in his way, tried to milk it. That's what they'll be looking at. And then Luke Patton. Dan Hunt was there. Darius Boyd misses, swings around, gets the pass to Jamal Idris. Just about their best tonight. 2 tries for him. We believe the match winner. We're just going back. The Dragons are pointing to Eastwood and Soward.
No way.
Soward had a better play at the ball carrier than he made out.
No way. You cannot take the try off the Bulldogs for this. No way.
Jamal Idris, one of the heroes of the night, win or lose. But it looks to me that it will be okay.
It's got to be okay. It's got to be okay.
Who's the video referee? Steve Clark.
That kid's got to be okay. He's allowed play to go on.
I think he might have spooled.
No.
He has spooled past the incident twice now to watch it on the final passage of the try. There's no problem with any of that you would see. Tony Archer, he went straight to the earpiece. He knew somebody was screaming at him. He was getting tipped to before Idris had put the ball down.
They can't take it off him. They cannot take this try off them.
It is no try. The Dragons fans are just absolutely ecstatic, and the Bulldogs people can't believe it.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Well, I can't wait to hear the post-match press conference.
Well, that must be a numbing feeling for the Canterbury Bulldog supporters. Listen to this. Too late.
I cannot believe that, and we've got stuff being thrown on the field. This is going to get ugly. This is going to get ugly. The Bulldogs players are going over to the fans saying, don't throw stuff. Don't throw stuff. This is going to get ugly.
Tremorley and Stagg and Hannon appealing to them to stop throwing missiles.
All I can say is I'm glad I'm parked next to Justin Poor in the car park. I'm waiting for him.
Well, we have had 79.5 minutes of outstanding football tonight. A game deserving of a grandstand, exciting finish. And there are going to be some mixed opinion on this, but I have to say that Jamie Soward has come up with a professional play there. He couldn't get to Luke Patton. He milked it by going into Greg Eastwood. He could have easily run around Eastwood and not been impeded. Have a look at this. He's not in bad position there. He's not in bad position, but he decides to back in sideways because he knows that he cannot get to Luke Patton.
That's a disgrace. That is an absolute disgrace. I'm sorry, but we'll talk about that all weekend, but that was terrible.
What an empty feeling you're left with after watching. There's the face of the coach, Kevin Moore, after watching what has been a great opening to this important round of football.
That's exactly right, right? I'm empty and I don't care who wins.
Yep.
Neither do I. I couldn't care less either, Pete, but I just feel like the Canterbury fans, I suppose. I feel numb. I've had a thrilling night of football, totally entertained, and then, as I just said, there's an emptiness in me.
How do they do it, Ravens? How do they come up? How do they come up with a decision like that at a moment like that and call that justified? I cannot believe it.
And I always know that we do bring this into the equation. Can you imagine a grand final?
Oh, mate, that is a terrible, terrible way to finish a great game of footy. That is awful. Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Congratulations to the 34 players out there. They've provided a great spectacle tonight. A wonderful kick-off to our heritage round. Great desire by the Bulldogs to stay in this game. And the Dragons have shown fortitude as well to show why they are so highly placed up the premiership ladder. Take the finish out of it. And sometimes these top-of-the-table clashes don't live up to expectations. Well, tonight for 79 and 50 seconds, it did.
Well, they lost 2 points for having 14 players on the field, and now they're denied another 2 points. Anyway, we won't dwell on it. It was a super game of football. If you don't support either of these two teams, you've been thoroughly entertained. If you're a Dragon supporter, you've pinched one, and if you're a Bulldog supporter, put it in the memory bank and wait till the next time you meet, because these two teams will meet again. It can be guaranteed.